I don't know if I have to put this in a way, say NDC is feeling say Agyapong a threat to them. Now, currently, me know can say Agyapong is in the United States of America. Yes, he is actually having or spearheading an event. And personally, for me, me need the Agyapong the campaign for various reasons. One, I think say he's doing a remarkable job, and I believe say among all the candidates or standing for president, Agyapong has something to offer. I may be wrong, but that is how I see it. And most importantly, me when they say Bawumia has been in position for 8 years, and I didn't see any remarkable thing be so at least let's try Agyapong. But that regardless, NDC people who like Agyapong, say they don't like him again because they are increasingly seeing him as a threat. Let me break it down for you. Recently, Musa Dankwa at the post be by I think last 2 months and August post no they buy no bisa NDC for and say amongst all the candidates Bawumia, Brani Champon, Kennedy Agyapong, Professor Yawedi Chum, Kwabena Agyapong, all of these people, who would you vote for and who do you like? Ultimately, all of them said Agyapong, and they gave reasons like say Ken Okanadrin, Okanokre, he exposes his party members, and then he has that business entrepreneurial spirit in him. So that was it. But then this particular month, September, Musa Dankwa did the same post, and now they are choosing Bawumia. Why? Because they say Bawumia is an easy candidate to beat. But then regardless, Nipa Sisi we're taking the fight to Agyapong. I don't know if because NDC is sensing Agyapong a threat or not. But then Nipa on swaba in this particular whole issue Kevin Taylor. So for the starters, as I told you earlier on, Agyapong is in the United States of America. Samika, he's spearheading an event. This event, we should fly and we screen so also political entrepreneurship and leadership in Africa, which is going on definitely somewhere in the United States. Sunin launch Edgar Road, Webster Groups, definitely in the United States of America. But then we are not here to talk about that. We are about that. We are here to talk about in summer, Kevin Taylor, the Ababe to your party say Agyapong. In summer, then I'm say Asian economy, Asian miracle, NDC for idea and Agyapong akotro. And na should video about better also.
Can Agyapong adopting Asian model key to Ghana's economic growth? This idea also of shape in basic college to be because Montiasie. Because 2024 no time na mo prime minister ka chem say or the ship be fia brochire na ebegina kolenu so na ekọ na eba na abrofo timpon na omo beso budware no matom na omo self o se Montiasie mogimi sa ideas ni nyina o ka so be ntumi am so no so osaka say mrebi o ka say ode boat kakrakapa cruise ship eba be Cape Coast to Takwa na so omo na musuo no so na omo dware na amanfo ko bie restaurant wom ni nyina o kan 2024 ni nyina mo ntie o ka say nka o de ship ba Bissue cruise ships na say nkofo ko bie restaurant wo epo no so na say ship refi Caribbean ni beduru ha na nkofo asisi na makọ restaurant ni mu apunim kan labadi wo no ka epo na nko twitwa na asase no ai president aba na epo na asase ni etwa obegira ni agese Kennedy mo asase ni ewa apunim obani ya restaurant o se sanyo obani nyina ka nyina mo anje ndi se another one biaba of friend the Asian model key Agyapong or her documentaries working. Ocean document, Ocean not you check Agyapong Agyapong ID criminal intent any law and order any not you Ocean check Agyapong or share ancient documentaries or say or the model be ba or say or the people from be ba kono tiasie where the friend Asian model key ni nyina say o Ghana na ohia sika na oba man ho ne am sika na kwa bruchiri ana say bia ot Ghana upesika na so aba ban o ka say me pay $2 million o de den me pese me see restaurant enti na aban ahwe ewewu na ohun say ohia $2 million na the amount into the $2 million kwa another kwa edwuma na aban aba check ye wi ane de atetewo ebia o pese wo UK kwatena ho 3 years na ko sia sibia eye hotel sibia ye suan na aban atam sika amount £2 million, 10,000 pounds or say a friend bibi a friend Asian model key. But Kennedy, this your Asian model key, no? It's the same as NAPE. It's the same as these same models are buying a war in existence. With NAPE, Anna John Kumadano, NAPE, it was entrepreneurs, young Ghanaians, going to tell the government what they can do with their business plan, and the government giving them seed money. In fact, this new government has introduced even a more comprehensive one. Besides, get me the flyer, let me explain. Kennedy, this model has been in existence for years. Maybe Okotin say Asia Tarihuninti. This kind of thing has been there. And you see, the only difference between the Omuya Asia and Ghana and say their economy, the way it's set up, no. Our economy hasn't gotten to that point where you can just dish out government money and say so the idea say, and this NAPE thing, it was started by John Mahama in 2014. And I'm friend, yes, it was to make sure say the youth, especially young graduates, are more ideas, a good paper so hear the assistance of the government to put that idea into reality through the government support, you know. And no na MPP for be change yes no NAPE. And it was basically to do what? To finance or resource young Ghanaians, entrepreneurs who are willing to go into a trade or whatever kind of business which will turn them into self-reliant entrepreneurs. Inti sa ideology, you know, it already exists in Ghana. The all can to say Sibia ba omi abeka kire say Google Maps na be ni Ghana. Google Map existed in Ghana before Bawumia came to power. But now Odwin say Ghana for Jimmy and omudi bibi e friend no the GPS address by. Sa dia na Bawumia de be share nim no. Now start catch Ghana for say we introducing Google Map into Ghana. No. Before Bawumia became a running mate, people were driving with Google Map in Ghana. The same as timer Gihok akware fen saying kwasi ampe yi na o te Gihok ekufu ado ase no Kofi Juma in 1995 or 96 ko for time or the street address by or start name Kumasi Boulevard Asafo Boulevard dia oje Ghana fosika ko di that time no onim say street or the boulevard this is enye boulevard but not that time na Santifo ni my dear friend Boulevard now Asantifo ni my dear friend in street name. Inti okreti bibi to Asantifo tim say wakwatena broche na ote Grand Concourse so. Inti bedru Asafo ni atro Asafo Boulevard. Abra na ade no kanko. Ebia kanko no mutwa. Inti these are things that have existed MPP for the area Ghana for sika until John Mahama baye in 2012, 13, 14, 15 or making sure so we streamline no amana beye a whole project the youth of Ghana enya mfaso wo so MPP for ya sabaye under Ekufuado ebe change yes ni NAPE omo destroy no.
Now, Kevin Taylor is not also stopping here because SNMD Agyapong is currently in the United States of America. So this is what is happening. Ken got an invitation to come and speak at a school. And it's like Kevin Taylor and he said, Agyapong. So I don't know if because Agyapong is doing something right. NDC all of a sudden will be a 2 years. So now, this same Kevin Taylor edit to your party say because Agyapong was touting an idea. Many say kuko kitin idea, but in kuche video here baba ka ebe to us.
Be na no akase.
That is what I stand for. Only country leaves. The name China for me, I experimental house. Leaves no have protein. Protein good for poultry feed. We are going to use cassava leaves, mix it with maize and soya bean, and produce poultry feed in Ghana.
Last also obesi hotel we pum. They see also what the Chinese phobia translate we say banching hono. All the fry bra, you better be feed the poultry. Sanyoma we nyina not wo. We jani nyina ton akoko force. Sa nyoma ni nyina o se idea na wo ho a wonim. Sa for 8 years ko 4 time na kede Japan wo ho. O ka che se ko 4 time no wo sika chen obi a ekufu at time wo sika chen obi a banche hono no ye de fra eburo edema ede ye poultry feed no wo sa ho no woto enkoko free China. Okoton nkoko free China nkoko a ya parking 8 months egu dem no asoa begu Ghana se montetenwe obekọ ne fie no oye body ampesie di aden a me the doctor say my surgery ntima me ndi akoko fools. And these are the people we sat in Ghana and we were listening to. Wa champion free Ocean Hotel e de ababeduru Bancha Haban o de be fidi poultry otena Ekufuado abam one district one factory otena Ekufuado abam nya contract Ekufuado abam nyina contract oje nyina energy contract ote bust ote Ghana gas ote dia board. So he never thought of this. O free power I say oh Bancha Haban Bancha Haban o de free bura ye betumi anyankukọ ko de krom dompem oye MP for 23 to 27 years when timi afa Bancha Haban ne bura ma ne krobufo omo munyankukọ anase we mbie nkukọ poultry adase poultry emfa ma ne krobufo mabunu se omo mfa nya duane ma nkukọ nkwasiasam. These are the people enne me ne wa behu so omo ni munyansa. They take advantage of the people.
It's here for Kevin Taylor Esansoka said the death of Ahmed Hussein Swale is still lying on King Japon's head. Remember, I said this was the same Kevin Taylor or reporting King Japan. Am I detaining King Japan? Ebra Ahmed Hussein Swale ewuye, but that matter is in courts. So sisi ane or tackle the ambition and now model or baby you so are popular now in Ghana. In fact, this September model are very popular now. Term are popular the Asian Miracle. Last 2 years was showdown. This time a Asian Miracle. Now we will come back to the King Japan factor because Team Ora also needs to work. And as you can catch on, we are here to make sure say each and every time Team Ora Jumo Mudin will be giving you updates. Now Papa we are who the picture on the screens, your friend Charles Cromwell, Nana Benin, Unya won talk Bissue. But he's popularly known in this country as Charles Bissue. You recall some years ago, Anas Armeyao Anas investigation into the gold scandal, gold scandal, Papa we PMU, and ultimately Akufo-Addo terminating the contract. We have all of those files here. We'll be showing it as we go along. But then this is what is really happening. Papai Abeken Sem say, Mahama Abanya omu prosecuting or no, he's happy. For those of you who don't know Charles Bissue, he is now with the Canadian Japan campaign. Most of the stories here and Eba and life is centered around Canadian Japan. You understand where we are getting to. Charles Bissue is now with the Canadian Japan campaign. You may play video out later. But then our patch said Team Oral any John Dramani Mahama on so who take say ombe prosecuting no because obe fan huidi. He will go scot-free. Adanya, he's always been innocent. We don't know if this has to do with something. Attorney General, your friend is what do you call it? Plea bargain. Okay, ya chose 7 years 100 million. Because the idea is that the Okotun Savan prisons are obey the burden on the state. Obey state never bon hoka. Ijapadian Kwan one return to return bia. Now, let us put this on the screen. He said this since we have a screenshot of what he said on Ghana Web. Enlarging yen reading. Or see, I'm happy to be prosecuted under an NDC government. Charles Bissue. Charles Bissue, Director of Operations for the Kennedy Agyapong presidential campaign, has expressed satisfaction that the corruption allegations against him are now before the courts. So now this Charles Bissue is saying, he said, remember I said this same Charles Bissue, during Akufo-Addo's time, he was saying, he said the state was against him. On one party members and some people were against him. Now he's saying, he said, oh, I like it that Mahama prosecutes him. Why? Is it because he knows that the ultimate goal will be acquittal and that he wouldn't be jailed? That is a big question. He described the move as the most appropriate course of action, particularly after what he says were unfair attacks and accusations. So he says all those things that happened here in the Akufo-Addo time, some people who were envious of him and they laid down these kind of things. So and now Mahama abani de Mahama ebeden obehunsen hoson obebunukunfo hunsen hoson. Bissue noted that he is relieved the matter has finally reached the court, especially after facing criticism of some members of his own political party. So the MPP people, according to him, they betrayed him, and some people were orchestrated this particular attack. Inti enena obi foforo abe so mu ne de case don't die and a case about to die. He remains optimistic about being exonerated, insisting he has not engaged in any wrongdoing. So now Charles Bissue is telling us, say, the akwadaa mahama court ni nim no, ade ba akope outcome ba akope na beba. Ye be setting free na obi ehun say ono na onam ho no ho eson. Yento aso ha. In April, the Office of the Special Prosecutor filed criminal charges against Bissue, a former presidential staffer and secretary to the now defunct Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. He faces multiple counts of corruption and abuse of public funds for personal gain. So, April year, one of the people Office of the Special Prosecutor, Odibe just said he's tackling them. Charles Bissue. Now, Charles Bissue was tackled before. Okay, so Osha wanted by OSP. This was 3 years ago, 2023. 2 years ago, 2023. But then April mahama eba sui OSP Kisie Jabe, he brought out another one saying said this man is under investigation. Now, let us try and put this on the screen for you to know what OSP is saying. So this is what the Office of the Special Prosecutor actually posted. On official Twitter page. So as you can see, or say, court refuses passport release for Charles Bissue. Mr. Oshe date that was here no. Or see, 12 May 2025. So April, May. And another Ghana web air kasa. So just this year, a few months ago, Charles Bissue went to court to get his passport and OSP said no. So OSP Electoral said court refuses passport release for Charles Bissue. The High Court has refused to release the passport of Charles Bissue, the first accused person seeking to travel to the UK and US. The court said his application lacked merit, noting this ticket was brought after filing and his school admission was provisional. Adjourned case 29th of May 2025. So all of a sudden, OSP Baya or CCC are not investigating Papa way because then in Akufo-Addo's time, na you trying to 90, no to me investigation. It's Mama Baya now or CCC investigation. Saying BM, we will investigate Charles Bissue and Charles Bissue echo course. When you admission to go and study masters or whatever, or call UK US, and a court said they be. Now, Yentua so with the Ghana web article no. Or say the OSP alleges that Mr. Bissue accepted 35,000 cedis bribe from one Benjamin Agyapong to fast-track the renewal of an expired mining license for ORR Resources Limited by passing standard IMCIM procedures. Inti Bonia Charles Bissue a year in that analysis position is a bribe. If you be what say, minister and CEO, ye mouse kawe yesro. Your lines, your mining lines in some kind, no bit may be for 1 mile. And OSP them, and Kisie Jabe edging. In fact, I think so we have to play the video for you to small one essay for you to see exactly what really went on. So, says cannot JN together with other multiple forms of corruption. And no, NSC and OSP adding agent so they are charging. But then Kisie but then Charles Bissue is saying something else. But then for more, I'm going to share this particular short video. No, video back here to us. So that was a Charles Bissue. As you can see him busily taking the money near the admin or say a setup. For the artists, a camera will be an as be exposing the piano who could play in Japan camp. No problem because you see only in Japan age, no problem. Or say The OSP alleges Bissue accepted a 35,000 CD bribe from one Benjamin Agyapong to fast-track the renewal of an expired mining license for ORR Resources Limited, bypassing standard IMCIM procedures. Responding to public concerns about his freedom, Bissue said, "I have no problem to worry over why I'm walking around and not." I say I have no problem with the calls. Sorry, I'm taking you. I say responding to the public concerns about his freedom, Bissue said, "I have no problem with the calls for my arrest. Mustafa Gbande, a presidential staffer, has expressed worry over why I'm walking around and not arrested. This is an opinion he has expressed. He has the right to say what he said, but it may have been based on assumptions without fact. As a Ghanaian citizen, he has the right to comment. But the truth of the matter is that we have state institutions responsible for handling such issues." So, Kamya Koye say the NDC and the MPP party members, they know say the constitution it has a loophole. For example, I remember an example. Minim say me chitu and I'm a firebo and I'm sure between na nipa ni wo e be che me. You be charge me to first degree murder, make them for life, or in some instance grant a death sentence. But then if I deliberately want to do that, I can start showing signs, say my bottom. All I need to do is go to Pantine. Say I feel like the world is moving fast. I see dead people. And the doctor will say, based on what he's seen, and I say my make based on his observation, my bottom. And then to me call her 1, 2, 3. Please, it's not making for education purposes. Don't go and do that. Me call 1, 2, 3. Now, Dr. Anika says, okay, based on the air course with Nanano, we can diagnose him, say he has a mental issue. No problem. Now, they start taking me to therapy. Matthias here. After the next 1 month, my fair boy shoe between the mekuno. Ya the make quarter, me say me no, ya diagnosing me say, my junior papa. Why? Because say me, if I did it intentionally, I know say there's a loophole in the constitution. Say once ubia bodama na junior papa no or what records excess nipa na jimu nyeno or committed den bone or you free. Because the person did not act based on his or her own conscience. So basically, what Charles Bissue air patch say, you bet me who say okay, send a video no I use or disca, but then it has to go through courts. We need evidence. Yeah, this kind of man and apart from Anas who was there. So the loopholes are a lot at the end of the day. No, even if he was caught red-handed with his money, his fame, his power, he can walk free. Yeah, so. But Bissue further revealed that he has been under investigation for nearly 8 years by multiple agencies, including the Criminal Investigative Department (CID), the Bureau of National Investigation (BNI), and the OSP. According to him, the police had previously cleared him of all wrongdoing. I've also decided to avail myself to any probe by any institution, he stated. So now Charles Bissue is saying, "Say mo amonam ho amoke kan sem say." Yenjeli no. OSP. SC will announce investigation. Kosi who? Formerly BNI, now NIB. Oma announce investigation. Kosi who? Office of the Special Prosecutor. Oma announce kosi who? Sisi akwa the Ghana Police ko. Oma announce akwa say, oh, Charles Bissue. Case na against you. She ni ho ko. Yentu aso. Or say, I'm even happy I'm being prosecuted under NDC, National Democratic Congress government, because I did not want the matter decided under the MPP or the New Patriotic Party, where people will claim I influenced the outcome. I'm hopeful that once the case is over and I'm exonerated, people will acknowledge and accept the outcome. Mahama should prosecute him. Mahama prosecuting us so nyake. Debut. Mahama is prosecuting her. Mahama is not going to get anything. What is Mahama going to get? Nothing. Because police for crack clear no. And when say omunya hute. Mobile investigating na enkwesi who. Now, you better also with that. But then let's also put this on the screens. Because Akufo-Addo did something during the previous administration where information about said Charles Bissue was engaged in all of these scandals. No? Akufo-Addo actually sacked him. HA and a DCSO oral signed and arrested. Shall I say? Or say, President Akufo-Addo terminates appointment of Charles Edu Boahen. Okay. Basically, Galamsey issue na by and Akufo-Addo trust the President of the Republic of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, has terminated appointment of Minister of State and Ministry of Finance, Mr. Charles Edubwah, with immediate effect after being made aware of the allegations leveled against him, against the minister in the expose Galamsey economy. The president spoke to Mr. Edubwah, after which he took the decision to terminate appointment and also to refer the matter to the special prosecutor for further investigations. And on the president appointed him since 2017. So President John Dramani Mahama even sacked him. President Akufo-Addo sacked him. But ultimately the cases and go see who and Charles Bissue all these cases against him, it was witch hunts. So on one call for no time. It's earlier this year, as you can see on the screens, Charles Bissue granted bail, 200,000 bail over illegal mining allegation. So OSP, Tuesday, May 2025. So OSP arrested him, and then they left him, and then court sell passport almost more farmer. And now this man is saying, say, Obia Enyahe. Recall, this same man is now with the Agyapong campaign. Personally, I don't have any issue with Agyapong. But Kamia Kwesi Obia wafa na sinsim bia no odwane kotwa eye Agyapong. Regardless, no Charles Bissue recently or the Simbia ba betuja ane waken sem bebre yenhwe video we ye babaka ye betwa so of what yenhwe exactly what Charles Bissue is once again talking about.
People said, I mean, we knew that there was some coercion, people were actually cowed into submission and all that. And so this time, we know that the playing field should be leveled. We as a party, MPP, we've always actually led the electoral reforms for this country. When we started from the big ballot box to the transparent and then the PDD and all that. So within us, if you're going for an elections, we need to actually show that. Therefore, our candidate, Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, who has been involved in our politics for the past over 30 years, suggested with his team that we come up with this anti-Reagan team, so that everything from the album, auditing of the album, whatever is happening, registration of old officers, making sure that everybody is included in the electoral role of the party. It is not just for him, it is for the party as well, because if we recognize all these people and ensure that the data is well collected, the essence of having polling station officers or party officers is that in the campaign they should be doing the legwork, and so we should be able to identify them and ensure that within us there's sanity in that, so that when they go out to campaign for the party, following the flag bearership, they can do the job better. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Sansem no ena Charles Bissue edituja. We gave you an earlier update yesterday, sir. US President Donald Trump, the administration, they've actually reversed the visa ban and the multiple entry visa. It's also US, and can Trump ban on national debate. It's also US. Yeah, now 5-year multiple entry. They be 3 months or so back can be renewed every time. Now, recently during the UN conference, Samuel Okudjo-Blakwa met the Secretary of State, Alison Hooker. And Omotana Sekasa, at the end of the day, Ghana was able to make the case. Say, okay, please, yes, someone munyi visa sanction in FIO. And finally, no is a visa sanction in FIO. But for this is the scary part. America I started complaining, say, you see, Trump is like say you the devil. If you play with Trump, he will always be used. Now, I like what Martin Kanya very soon be discussing about this. Or Pacha said, so all these things see, jinko for migrants near the day. You be so good to Blakwa say, Sika he, any other mamo, so we are not taking any money. Definitely, there was a transaction in terms of maybe not in terms of money. But then, Kamia say, based on Insama Nano, Alison Hooker ebe kanye. Alison Hooker can say they are lifting the US visa restrictions on Ghana because Ghana has agreed to be taking migrants. So our visa restriction reversal ban, no, it is tied to US, if anything, immigration and US people pouring into this particular country. Now, Brony or our black American be Ababe Kasa say this was a dangerous move by the Mahama administration. Why is he saying that? This particular video, Babaka, what I will be looking at is in Sama Martin Pebuso Ababeka. And I don't know, but this lady could really be making some serious sense here. And people are saying it's high time we look at this whole thing, because Ekamia question we are jubilating, but then we don't know the real details of this whole deal between Mahama and Trump.
Everybody wants to kiss the USA ass, and I get it. But to allow your country that you swear is safe, to allow your country to become a dumping ground for immigrants from the United States, all you are able to bargain is 5-year visa plans for Ghanaians. Mind you, these visas, they're not even guaranteed. U.S. Embassy still has the last say-so. So you negotiated these terms. You claim that you want a stronger USA-Ghanaian relationship, and you just signed your country up to be a dumping ground for immigrants. But they don't want Nigerians in their country. Ghanaians swear that they don't want other Africans in their country because the insecurity is becoming too much to handle. But you guys allowing your country to be a dumping ground, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that they're going to be deported to Ghana? And then from Ghana, they're going to peacefully go back to their home countries? You're joking. You're literally delusional if you think that's what's going to happen. Like, you guys, African leaders, I don't know what they used to swear for you guys. You guys have to be smarter. You could have bargained much more for you to allow your country to be a dumping ground for immigrants. And you're calling this a big win? A big win? All right.
So yes, uti nsema lady ne eka ya or patche say sisia no ye patche say big win. How is this a big win? How is this a big win? She's asking. Yeti krom ha say na Trump edin krofo ba ene ye hwe nkrata so ani ahwe wa wonye den wo krom ha say ya ye friend say krom ha na wo na America na wo no udi bone wa overstay ni akase okesi deporto. Oh, ye deported the any krobi or a friend in Ghana. Omuni bibi papa biaye yenje. The lady is saying, Sana Ghana for especially myself. Ye niaje so Mahama ni okujo tahi ayade they are smart. So no. We've rather been duped. We've been played by the devil. I didn't hear because why would we accept immigrants? Now I was telling you, say Martin people were reacting, but sorry, Martin people. Nipo be reacting, you know. Your friend is saying Franklin Kujo Shaha or say, is that all we got from taking in deportee West African neighbors? Franklin Kujo asked a black one on US reversal of reversal of US visa restrictions. So now people are the curtains is getting widely open, and people are asking, say, the nye ye beji migrant, ye beji migrant to ye beji ni nyina no. Let's say kwansen krona. Ninyina ne say at the end of the day no say migrants ni eji omo se ne be ya ye be visa restrictions no. If that is the case, according to him, we've been played by Trump. We have been played by Trump. So that is exactly what is really going on. Now, based on this, no, the deal no we are now learning say deal la okujuta black and Trump and Mahama okujuta black and Trump make here and any listen who can make here no. It doesn't just border down on deports, receive immigrants, will lift the visa restrictions, they be. It also boils down on Ghana tightening its visa for foreign nationals. I will explain. Now, okujo to black crowd aba catcher says sisia no Ghana ope passporta e beye din adentia opa say some African countries come to Ghana. When they come to Ghana, so Ghana there ufia say now per US visa easy. Inti omo ba be ware yen ba no mo ni ade ade. Inti sisia ne de omehu sa strategy na omo mpese sisia no obi ebeba na at the end of the day wakwe bibia Trump the bubefu a Trump because we lifted your visa and you guys have started doing this again and you know he is going to take action. In the action is that he is going to tight the visa space. Let's put this again on the screens for you to understand exactly what he said. Because personally, I'm confused. Oh yeah, I'm confused about this whole visa issue, no. And no could you say one thing, Trump say one thing. Regardless, no, we no could you tell black a Troy, a US embassy, ebe confirm me say yes. In some see your friend say ya lifted visa restrictions na yampa. She has say, also the US embassy is pleased to announce that the maximum validity periods for all categories of non-immigrant visas for Ghanaians have been restored to their previous length. The maximum validity allowed for the B1, B2 visitor visa, also the maximum validity allowed for B1, B2 visa is again 5 years, multiple entry. The maximum validity for F1 student visa again is 4 years, multiple entry. It's Sansema we ebe confirm ye no. Oh, so yampa okudu to black one Alison Hooker say ya reverse ban yampa. And chebia na Almighty okudu to be trust. I'm delighted to acknowledge the US government's response confirmation on the bilateral discussions. We shall continue the ongoing, negotiations in new tariffs to bespoke Ghana-US trade deal, AGUA, and strategic secretary cooperation. Ghana is also set to tighten our visa acquisition controls to prevent unscrupulous elements from undermining the recent diplomatic gains in new visa regimes and US visa waiver agreements with multiple countries for God and country. So now, could you tell Black? I don't know if that was part of the deal. Say, tighten your visa because Trump is preaching. Say, it's not only the US who needs to deport people. Other countries, which Trump said it at UN, said deport people who come into your country illegally. Tighten your passport and your visa. And Okujo Black, it's not saying, oh, US now my no, or one person will be babe no, and at the end of the day, no, they are going to tighten Ghana visa and now say Ghana passport. I don't know how that is going to affect those affairs. At the end of the day, no, you PC renew. And also, he touched on AGUA. AGUA no acronym is standing for African Growth and Opportunity Act, which is a trade law. Countries and more sub-Saharan countries and sub-Saharan has say like Ghana, Nigeria, Benin, and so duty-free access to the US market for thousands of products. So AGUA usually, it has to do with several produce like in Bianin, US for more fact taxes and so duty-free. But Trump Trump cancel AGUA. And Trump is basically a transactional president. That is it. So Sisiana Ghana for Akasesiano omu receive migrants no. Asisiano omu sisiano mba tight on visa rules no. AGUA na ya cancel isi audi ukotomi bi US the taxes better so no. Trump party say uye we ya me AGUA ban na ma ban and I'll restore it. So I don't know how all of this thing is going to play, but perhaps no share. Because everyone is actually looking at it in a different way. From a policy standpoint, in the amount for so Mahama ayadie pa Mahama ayadie okujuta blakwa ayadie, but to some people to okujuta blakwa enyade because he's been played. Okay, because Trump, a businessman, whatever he's doing it to get something in return. That is how business people think. Everything is transactional, regardless. You need indemnity. Yeah. You need indemnity, and then we are looking at whatever is going on in terms of Okujuta Blackwa and in summer echo. So for our comments, Ebra and comments for us. So at the point in time, I'll be reading comments, maybe reading more comments. Now, yeah, share exactly what is really going on. Yes, sir, ubitimi the friends comments then Abba. Moving on, information about kind says here patches Pakwesi Indum. The GM Bank under the previous administration information about with various videos are confirmed say Mahama in summer Mahama meeting with GM Bank Pakwesi Indum so could you talk about Pakwesi Indum the GM Bank Mahama in the meeting before last year's elections okay say Pakwesi ka say bank ni egu na yapa because they were doing everything right Mahama shame. And Mama say about Bissue and you know UT Bank and others. Me no ka say Mahama kamya kwes or your share ayo. We watch some videos do besha or see GM Bank and several other collapsed banks are set to bounce back with operations expected to resume next year. Pinaxtv Indum is coming back thanks to President Mahama. So, GM Bank workers, any executives, so they started posting this particular videos. Say GM Bank Pinaxtv Indum. Munim say nanui during the past administration. Omo bane GM Bank from operating. Okay. According to Akufo-Addo, he did that because GM Bank, I just say omo cash flow and I say capital was omo die business. No, I just say basically, they will cause financial loss to the state. And based on that, I just say omo bank ni na, omo ye banks ni na one. Ama me akasa bank na me save Unibank. Aye Dr. Kwamina Dufo ne bank no. And also omo ye ne sa. It's I remember say Unibank no omo se sign omo ye no. Aye Consolidated Bank Ghana. Ni nyina be ye Consolidated CBG Consolidated Bank Ghana. Now, GM Bank ultimately no ye the big can but bed capital ne sa banks ni nyina no ye the bebre ebum be ebi di egu no completely. Pinaxtv Indum believe say sad no omo ye no omo anye ni ye. Into Petitioned Mahama. And Mahama finally we see Sufre. And from what we are learning to be a video channel, you realize say information at Airbar is Sisiano kind of confirms that indeed GM Bank is coming back to its original form. And Pinaxtv Indum before I go show video no Pinaxtv Indum a posti video we so you can see say one of the sites a GM Bank, one of more places no more operate here. You could see say he was absolutely in shambles. Bank he pa. It was our sweat and toil. No NDC for MPP for bar power no Obeku Bank for various reasons because they saw me as a political threat. So that is him walking around now. NDC ni be Edin Sibia Babetuja or explaining the reason why Mahama is doing that. And according to some MPP people, Mahama is even resetting Ghana with his current reforms. Yebekwa ko share this particular video involved. Babaka, we will also look at other reactions because on TikTok and on social media, many people are reacting to this in Sema Ababetuja in regards with the recent announcement of GM Bank as you see an Omo Babak. It's for Yenko share this particular video involved. Babaka, Yebetwasu.
GM Bank. What say GN Bank? Oba follow page, no like page. GN Bank for ya papa Pinaxtv Indum. Bank GN Bank. Ghana for ya mami ya papa mu ye nuanem krofo sika da GN Bank papa. Na one say, ukwoto aba mama mpanyina onyini nipa honyi timama nipa sa na eba. Sanya ne GN Bank e peja. GN Bank Ghana mabunu apiki ba be ye nwuma. Benya bibi ko ba no bosomi betua beka GN Bank be bua Ghana o employee crofo bebre GN Bank no ko reaching bia bi wo ena se beti modifo be di minus so minus sia pidie GN Bank na na do betna so a no collapse GN Bank no wie be sika twitwiri die na nye bone ni atempone e wotima banga emgu banga enwene nko ba bia Bangia onano. Yante ni mwase mboni bia onano. Ewo good legacy wo mani nka ya shade gun nanado. Ye mami ni yesi ye papa mu esike wo GN Bank ni sika kitwa nanado de nsa bom ye sika ndeko ye campaign. O shade good GN Bank. Ene GN Bank for atado market de. Me papa John Dramani Mahama. GN Bank mo sna be ye adwuma. Ya kase mampanyina nya mampanyina ni bia wo. Mampanyina wonnwere timamufu wonnwere timamufu mufu hono. Onya mampanyini e ka kyerɛ wo. Panyina wane mindful no onye panyin papa adwemboni wadi tim. Ene Pinaxtv Indum. Se ne udi na adu achi. Wo abekɔ odi enkɔkɔ na ebekɔ Dramani Mahama odi enkɔ na adu. Ene wo bangi gu ye be Pinaxtv Indum sesa wasesa. Uni pagi akra sesa. Uni ahoto because wo de enkrofo sika nka wa force so de ba de be mabdo. Hwe wasesa. Oh kra ncha se uni pagi asesa ye Pinaxtv Indum wanyini force. So de o wadwen pa wo de aboa wo man ne na adu be kola se na adu ni bokosi atafe. Mo ye mpanyfo ye am adumna bia mo hwe ne ma mo ye ni yo. na nyame asra no nyame wonya wofa wonya wonana enya wonua enya wabusia panyini na obeboa bia wobebusaw woye nipa fasa adwene tutim ene se wansa John Dramani Mahama by 9 months nie certificate na adutwe wansa wasan a renew di amawo agyen bank ebe fa ne ntuma pa afra bank bi collapse ye bi ebe fa ne ntuma pa afra pa kwasi ndu woye panyini bi wo ho kodi panyini bi ache ya hweye media men nana menyini nana ka kire mse Porsche enye panyini bi ani ni nyansa sebi obi wo ha anyini so ejimfri ne nkura no de anyini nti enye panyini bi ana yeso otufu a wutie ai Papa sindu ene wahu wudi padu akra sesa ye ka se mampanyini so odwuni nipa hu owote mama nipa enye mampanyini so ye mambofo esa se wotwese nkra se timodinfo bedi mani so mama ni si apidie eh Papa sindu ne be ye papa sini indum papa do Mahama nyama okranka de wa hwe ya ube collapse ene bibi adu awono na nadu nti mre bi so no di na nadu achi a wo bu akuti achi tia John Dramani Mahama me mo ga na hapanyini bi akasa tia John Dramani Mahama bi amni mo because me anya nane me baba social media.
Okay, so MPP4 sorry NDC4 party say it's a good initiative, but next time Pakwesi Ndum, you see so this is one of the video omu posti here to say cars offices of GM Bank SMD per year. But then that is not the only person reacting here. Yeah, share one or two reactions from people. Yeah, Baba can to us.
At this point, as a Ghana youth, at this point, as a learned, intelligent Ghana youth, at this point, can you still hate on our president? He's 1 in a million. Can you still hate on him? I mean, we've got a stable economy right now, stable lights. I mean, can one, hate this man? Did you recently listen to the speech at the 80th UN meeting? If you haven't, as a youth, go and listen to him. And you realize that this man is a chosen one. At this point, that GN Bank's license has been restored. If you're a youth and you are still hating on this man, then I don't think you have any direction in life. Somebody says, if this man continues to govern this country like this, with all this, with all this achievement, with all these things going on, then our people will have to open a branch in our neighboring African countries. The MPP will have to open a branch in Togo, in Nigeria. And when you go under the comment section of some of these videos where he went to give speeches, you will see how our African countries are wishing and hoping and praying that they have JM as president. At this point, if you don't like
NDC there, Yantone Swaba Biemo, John Mahama. I him say GN Bank, Pakwasi Indiomo, Pakwasi Indum, ne banki. John Mahama inside the bank neighbor. Next year, bank, and Yanon Kwon, banks baby, a collapse here, way back, John Mahama, as I restore the back, almost about pretty next year. And Timon Musika, GN Bank, and they say, attach, and no matter then there. John Mahama, Kaufia Ope, Nagara for young family so. About when them show say you be a best ally. I got to a baby. Hey, Papa, Dabi, yan salai biem, uncle to a baby. The Oya Ghana no, that be.
So that is some of the reactions Eba. Quickly, you're moving on to this particular issue. Chema to me, any a year abronye. Menoka say they are in some big trouble. This week, I think Monday, the New Patriotic Party, Edin Kratabas, they received a petition to suspend or sack Ernest Owusu Bempah from the party. Say demonstration and saying MPP4 stop Galamsey demonstration. It doesn't really make sense because the party MPP party doesn't have the moral right to do so. And also Baumia said they really marketed Baumia, but among for Antono. And Opa said Baumia was the most marketable candidate more than Nkrumah. Still Ghana for Antono. is because they realized that Bawumia onye fit for the job. He was talking for Agyapong and against Bawumia. And Chebiana let anybody say and sakido. Now, in some way, Kosono, who to me any abronye or you here online podcast or YouTube, and to me so all your campaign Emma Bawumia for the flag bearership race, And then Oko saying be say in some way it's you for air koso and niema and yefa Bawumia brand say yes. January 31st. Okay. Ye twesi was here the year elections no. Yes, said that and ye. Because of what? Ye pese Bawumia endi president. Inti ye intem na Bawumia fa flag bearer ne intem no bia adwen kran kwosesa. Okay? Now uye no kura fi hɔ what will happen is that ye ten sa no. Send be Bawumia bitima the start campaign. Me no ka say party e den krata aba. Ye be hwe krata wi ani ahwe some of the comments ama MPP isi Agyapong because isi ani dey na clear say Bawumia or establishment candidate. Bawumia could have won on his own accord. But based on his economy, it's clear said this man is a big time establishment candidate. Here's a press release at MPP for at the buy. Or see the New Patriotic Party for immediate release. New Patriotic Party reaffirms commitment to fair democratic processes. Today, it came out today, 28th of September, 2025. Also, the national leadership of the New Patriotic Party urges the public and its stakeholders to disregard recent public pronouncement by the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Mr. Bernard Inchi Bosiakon, and the Bono Regional Chairman, Mr. Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC. As their statement do not represent the ideas and practices of the party. So now people saying so would to me so at the end of the day no yes said and year and 31st and about me bit my the ewini Abronya so kind the same thing but party say oh ye dim ho hwe omo ye chairman there but ye no ye nye niema sa me will be no kan ya metro letter some be suspend no hwe ha say mame Oko City newsroom or say MPP distances itself from Abronya Wuntumi over flag bearership claims, but press release back to it. The one say mami. Or say Wuntumi is reported to have said or to have claimed that the decision to hold the presidential primaries on January 31st, 2026 was designed to favor one particular aspirant. As Abronya is also reported to have claimed that he complies with the Bono regional album. Or see, Abronya is also reported to have claimed that he compiles the Bono regional album, party album, and will prevent certain individuals from voting. So, who to me I'm not party say, and ye share dates, January 31st, say, and 2 about say about me be and also Bono regional chairman, Abronya so a party say Bono regional no chairman. One more move voting and voters no. Or more ombabe voting no. Candidate bi omo and voting ma omo. So people are saying, say, how do you do a free and fair election if certain people like this are saying certain things and the check of it say you guys are not suspending them? And so also been pack kind of thing more the suspension letter, but it tells you how cracked the New Patriotic Party is. Yes, it tells you how cracked the New Patriotic Party is. Now, let's go back to press release now. You can 17. I see the party wishes to categorically state that no individual, irrespective of rank or position, has a monopoly or unilateral control over the compilation of polling station albums. Albums, ne one more move votes in the dinia de adeno legible voters, no. And on by so be any who to me, I was say waiting my waiting and in voting my voting Emma way. For the avoidance of doubt, the compilation of the polling station album strictly adheres to established compliance procedures. The National Secretariat will, and at appropriate time, issue clear and transparent guidelines, protocols, and procedures designed to safeguard integrity, credibility, and fairness at every stage of the process. We wish to assure all stakeholders, particularly polling station executive across the country, that such pronouncements should be disregarded and treated with utmost contempt they observe. Meanwhile, you need to suspend them. And so also ben also be suspended. No. Why won't you suspend abroad anyone to me? In a related matter, Mr. Bernard Enchibosiako has been heard alleging that the decision to hold the party's presidential primaries on January 31st, 2026 was calculated to favor a particular aspirant and took the decision in the party's supreme and strategic interest. Given the caliber of members of the National Council, no individual can manipulate or influence decision in his or her favor. The decision to hold an early Congress is intended solely to provide the party with sufficient time and strategic advantage to reorganize, reposition, and recapture power in 2028. The party remains resolutely committed to upholding transparency, fairness, and internal democracy in all its processes. Leadership will continue to ensure that every stage of our electoral activities reflects the highest standards of integrity and credibility. And this is coming from Justin Kudia. So Justin Kudia, so dates almost say 31st no, and yet because of Baumia, no mum, or share a MPP National Council crana, which a Kufuado ne in Penifo Muna supporting Baumia na. Still, they can't do anything against Agyapong because they stand there for free and fair, which we know say any no credit. So, Omaka. But for those of you, I'm going to share the particular video. A generate all of this issue. A MPP party as a whole, no, omode a press release. Aba, a party say it is not true. It is not true. Say, they are doing everything possible to make sure say a particular candidate wins. One of this video here, one of those instances to me is said to have made mention of certain things. Apparently, no, these things are okay, no, and I'm a forecast. Oh, and yes, I did, yeah, you need your baby needed that.
1998. Say a repeat one more, almost 1996. If you are 2003, 2023. Yes, I repeat to some about 2026. And I said, and yes, I repeat to you. And to the master, sir, I am Baumianti, and I repeat to you. Sadia 40 near repeating one. Because said you probably na mammy bako, na papa bako. No more. Nasa, I did you back on better. First, in half for mobile gas. And as a canary Rebecca, I'm a warrior. And Bramuno, and it be Diabono. Not as a say or per se issue, any Nadia. Another unit, as you say, or per se joke of Nadia. As also, I buy, but dear no say, I buy a top. The attendant said, "I found a map of Tizuni. Every man will be our company. And to say the map Baumia, now so this year, society be the Baumia. Now, tactical play. Now, the person said, I have power into any assistance. I have power into. And I'm a Santina, Sunday, the police station for the car, not to be here. But we are so sweet, and they are Maka. Mobile to a baby. May I say my former executives, Cafes and made by former executives, coming here because Kaufi not good. But I never will former executives, you know, will be able to go to say a poor bonus of Osaka and your reality. And your reality. If you said, Abano Ubetu, Abano Ubetu, it's any of them. Maybe because I did the truck for Namatana and Yamamu and Yatabu. Then men who said, I did see yellow. None that presidential money see. They see yellow. And a Casa and a man see. The money see yellow, it's like a parliamentary prime minister. I'm not sure. And if you are the problem for can I say, almost 2 years can but almost 2 years can almost something. It's the people catch them say, so we move the dear on quiet. Atisa, what's that? I am a friend. Eti, I get one more. Eti, do baby, but no, I can pay bar. No, sure. Eti, I was a worker. What did you have? I don't know about me. Eti, one more prayer, what I said. But we are, and I'm the no one situation.
So that is the issue involved here. You be fear no sooner acquire last update. Menoka say Kennedy a compare Agyapong. He is in the United States of America. Since he can tujan or program be a koso. But then some of the things are all clan over horn any lectures and how he can transform Ghana when he's giving the notes. No, it is trending on social media. Now, Ken is saying say one of the main issues I'm Ghana for your country, equity retrogressing is because of how greedy our politicians are. Now, or citing an instance say here in America, I'm not in the US, I'm in Ghana. What I say in America, no. So politicians, Apple or 10, politicians be fa baako na ka 9. Be Ghana, politicians be fa 9 na ka baako. Yentie this particular speech Ken e kan ye baba ke beto aso.
He says what will take him 3 or 4 months to get approval in Ghana is 3 days in Liberia. So now he's moved. It's really a threat to development in Ghana. How do I monitor my businesses? You know, don't get me wrong, they still steal. They still steal. But what I always say is, you know, the African problem, when you have 10 apples, and even in America here, they do steal. But America, 10 apples, they'll take 1. Okay? But in Ghana, 10 apples, they'll take 9. So I managed to get my workers taking 1. Oh, they still steal. As for them, they steal. But what can I do? But you see, I give you an example. My son is doing very well. He does the Afro-Chella, whatever. Americans gave him a contract to recruit African basketball players. So he doesn't have time for my business. Anytime I go there, he's not there. I say, well, you know what? Thank God you are doing your own business. I fired the mother too. Now, I told the mother, whatever money you were getting, lawyer, give the same money to her, but she's out. And my son, you're out. And the workers over there know that I fired my wife, I fired my son. What signal is it to you? That's how I manage to get things done. I'm very, very strict. So the message is clear. If you work with him, he will treat you well. But if you try to be dishonest or dupe him, he will get you fired. So that's how I do.
So Agyapong is saying, sir, you know, Africa proverb, no, Africa 10 apples or what? Bibini be emu 9. Okay, emu 9, emu enkron na akabako. But bruni be baako na aka 9. And no crown bruni ye chena odem for life. But Ken also says, it be a question as to how does he manage his businesses, multiple businesses are making profit still because he's still on a campaign or so. Na ne yire ne ba and omoda ebiano akese bi but ne yire no ne ba ne de afuchela ye na omo ye okọ Nigeria Kenya for crime and contract into unya time to obekọ na ne ba ni ho. Ne yire no so no onu so unya time into a fire ne yire ne ba. And also okay, udi ska munya wa ha no sisi ska no me de be mam but me fan crop for ato aso. But Ken also gave a speech explaining his vision for Ghana and it send oba he can transform this country and no and NDC football if we say Ken right now the campaign message in the say story bio yenko show video e baba ke beto aso.
Yes, you go. You are in America and you allow somebody in Ghana to call and threaten you. You are in America, and your own colleague in America will threaten you. So
supporting somebody? How? We cannot use timidity to develop our country. We got to be bold. Speak the truth. What is wrong is wrong. What is right is right. That is the only way we can move Ghana. We don't need dictators. Let's have our rights as human beings. Why should a man born of a woman picks a phone, calls you to threaten you, and you chicken out? Be bold. You are also born of a woman. Let's face the truth once and for all. Now is enough of intimidation. We will resist every individual who will intimidate us during this election. No man born of a woman will threaten candidate Agyapong and I will kick it out. Never. We are calling for unity. We are asking for fairness. Justice is not in the interest of the strongest. We are not in the Plato's ideal world. We are democrats. We have to tolerate each other. We can have varied views. Allow everybody to express himself. And at the end of the day, we make the decisions ourselves. We will not allow us to be cowards anymore. And what surprises me is my Ghanaians abroad, the diasporians. You work, you feed your family. Nobody sends money to you from Ghana. They got the courage to call you and threaten you and you chicken up. Wake up, be bold. We are in opposition today. Nobody is speaking your family. And when you want to express yourself, then some individuals will call and threaten you. Let them take your visa from you. Even when they threaten to take your visa from you, you still live in America. You're going to survive. So, our chapter chairman, the only way we can build MPP is when we speak the truth to ourselves. Without that, and surprisingly, what surprises me is when you look at the physique of some individuals, and because of positions they have, they call the buff to threaten you and you chicken out. Wake up! We establish MPP USA. Those in the health of affairs, they have not even gotten a visa that time to come to America. We will not allow them to intimidate us in this country again. No more. If you care to know the history of MPP USA, it was started at Flatbush, Nana Abuachi's house. Ask the man over there, please, can you get her for them to see you? Yes.
Agyapong, myself, well, Kwame Nusu, Dr. Amuako, Nana Boachi, himself, Agyapong, Adum Bewa, yeah, Mr. Boating, Lopez. Where were those chairmen? Where were they? We are not. I'm sounding a word of caution to those who think MPP USA is for them. It's not for them. We are going to challenge them. We will challenge them and let them know who started MPP USA in this country. We are not cowards, and we will not allow any individual to take MPP as his personal property. It will happen. Whether here or Ghana, no individual can take MPP as his personal property. People have died for MPP. People were killed. People lost their property. They lost everything they had. Where were they? Where were they? But today, they have the task to call people and threaten them. Let them die and threaten them. It will never happen. We want free and fair elections. Nobody can intimidate anyone. Even when they were in power, they could not intimidate me, and not today. It won't happen. But for the sake of unity, I have swallowed my pride. I've swallowed my pride for the sake of unity. But they shouldn't take me for granted. It won't happen. We all have a voice. We speak like men. So if you are here and you're a chapter chairman, go. After all what you lose, you have your job in America. They also have their jobs. They don't feed you and your family. You feed your family. And when you have problems, you don't go to them for them to solve the problem. So be a man. And let's build NDC back again. God bless you.
So that is it. It's for the BC. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, 29th of September, we will be coming your way once again with more news. Thank you so much for watching the BC. I think interesting being some few comments be able to read there. Okay, there are not many comments, but people are reacting to news now about the BC.